I spent 11 years in the Air Force and Air Force Reserves as a flight nurse. Flight nursing is a little bit different than on the ground nursing because we flew with 2 nurses and 3 medical technicians for each flight, but there were no physicians on the flight. And you have to go to flight nurse school, which is special training because you're flying at altitude. That altitude affects different wounds and different wound care, chest wounds and stuff. So those things are unique. You also have to learn how to do things other nurses at the time didn't learn in case something happened in flight because there were no physicians. So we ended up deployed to Vietnam, and I was there for a year. Back in those days, the Army nurses would be in the OR and they just kind of stop the bleeding, get them wrapped up, and then send them over to us. We'd stabilize them, and then we'd fly them to either Japan or to the Philippines, and then they'd have their major surgeries. I thank God that they stopped that. What they do is they sent all the specialty surgeons right into what they call the FOB, the forward operating bases now. So within 1 hour, you're getting wounded. You're getting emergency care right there. So we had about a 70% survival rate in Vietnam, which was still better than Korea and World War II. But there's about a 95% survival rate now, as proven in Iraq and Afghanistan. I always say my head with knowledge and my hands with skill were ready to be there, but my heart wasn't. To see the magnitude of the wounds on such young people. These guys were 18, 19 years old. These are young guys just out of high school, and I was 22. So it's like I was the older one, and just like there are certain things you'll just never forget. Well, just one example, one guy, and there were many like this, and he had both legs gone, and he says, "Nurse, take care of my friend, he's worse off than me." He had both legs and an arm gone. They so were aware of each other. They so cared for each other. A war zone can make you or break you. And I think by the grace of God, it made me. The memories are very difficult. To have to be able to switch your emotions so frequently and so quickly, you just keep pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. You don't get to mourn, you don't get to cry, you don't get to, nothing. It was okay. We didn't have a chance to cry over the young ones that died right in front of us. We didn't have a chance to cry when we saw them with the wounds. One guy, he had both legs gone, an arm was gone, massive abdominal wounds, and he was blind. And he called me over and he goes, "Nurse." And I said, "Yeah, what you need, bud?" And he goes, "Will my girlfriend still love me when I go home?" Because he knew he was a mess. And I said, "Oh, honey, yes, she's going to love you all the more because you're going to go home a hero." It was 15 years before I cried.